For the casual fan watching the Mustangs this year, will there be a visible difference in the linebackers and the way they play as you put your stamp on this group, or will it look sort of like just a continuation of the groups that have been playing here in recent years?
I would say probably more of a continuation. And I think that that's one of the reasons why Mason and Coach Jones wanted to hire from within, is because they didn't want to see a whole lot of change, and that what I mean by that is that our linebackers have had a lot of success, especially with losing those two guys to the league, two great players. We really utilize the linebackers in the way we run this defense, and I don't think much change is really needed, and I think that they're playing good. The biggest thing is just making sure that they're aggressive, good tacklers, and they got that good linebacker mentality. And I think, as far as change, I think that's one of the big reasons why I got hired, is because with the way Mason does things and the way that he's been working those linebackers, I plan on just feeding off of that and running everything pretty much the same way.
You've been at SMU for a few years as quality control and then also a stint with the strength and conditioning staff. Before that, you coached at Angelo State and Hardin-Simmons, and obviously one of the big parts of any coaching staff in college is recruiting. How is recruiting to SMU going to be different than the recruiting you did at those schools?
Well, obviously you can get a better level of player. It's easy to get those guys. SMU's got so much to offer. This program, I think, is really something special. Both my mom and my sister both have degrees from this university, so it's not something that's just completely new to me. This university definitely is something that academically offers something that a lot of colleges in the state of Texas aren't able to maybe offer. Examples, one of the business programs is one of the best, and kids, and the kids' parents are really, as far as whenever I talk to them, they really are high on the education aspects of it. As far as the location, you're talking about, hey, do you want to come to Dallas or do you want to go to Abilene or San Angelo? So then that makes it a lot easier too, trying to get a kid to come to Dallas. But to be honest with you, those colleges, I think helped a lot as well, just because, with all the high school coaches that come out of those schools, Texas football, I'm a Texas guy, and so I'm all big on trying to keep the Texas kids in Texas and all that stuff. And I love Texas football, and there's been a lot of good high school coaches that have come out of both those universities that I've already been able to build that relationship with, and I think that those kind of helped me as well. So then going on the road, I kind of, there's very few staffs that I don't know at least one or two of the guys on there.
How will you be used? Will you recruit linebackers only, or are you going to have a specifically designated geographical area for recruiting?
No, I've got a specific geographical area. But as far as, to me, I just want to get the best players that we can possibly get at SMU. Like I was saying, we kind of taken this program to the next level as far as the type of athletes that we're starting to get. We're getting some guys that before wouldn't even think of SMU, 5 years ago. But now we're starting to progress in that, and so I don't ever want to put limitations on. I just want to recruit this group of guys. I want to just get the best guys that we possibly can out of my area. I think that once you get closer to signing day, then that's when you kind of start targeting to where, I might go see a linebacker in this other coach's area, but then, Coach Phillips might go see a receiver in my area, so then you kind of start targeting the positions a little bit more. But as far as, with the spring recruiting that we've done so far, it's been just geographical and just trying to find the best players to become Mustangs.
Some coaches talk about the recruiting as sort of a year-round process, and some have described it as sort of a grind, whether it's going out and hitting all the schools personally, writing the letters, making the phone calls, etc. Do you enjoy the recruiting process, at least what you did at Angelo State and Hardin-Simmons?
Oh yeah, it's a blast for me. I'm a pretty competitive person. I hate to lose kid to a school, especially a school that we play on the schedule. Like I was saying before, I take great pride in Texas football and everything that it has to offer, and so I got my areas in Texas, and so having that stint of trying to get them to come to Dallas, come to school here, and then at the same time, just kind of building those relationships with the kids and trying to find a place for them to where it's a good fit. But for me, I enjoy it, and I love being on the road, going out and getting them, talking to new players on the phone, even handwritten notes and all that stuff. It's all a pretty fun process.
You mentioned earlier, you described Coach Mason as something of a mentor to you. Are there other coaches, either coaches for whom you played or coached with or just gotten to know professionally, that you particularly look up to, and are there specific things you try to take from some of them?
The main thing that I look for as far as coaches, and I think that the coaches on this staff do a great job of it, as well, is just kind of having the relationship with the players. You got those certain coaches out there that it's kind of like you're just kind of like a number to them as far as on the field. They really care about you. When Saturdays come, they really care about you. But then whenever it's you graduate and you're gone and stuff like that. Where this staff, I think, Coach Jones has provided a coaching staff that's all pretty close. And they all got good relationships, and then that carries over to the players. I think that all of them, the players all know how much the coaches care about them. And then in turn, not only do they care about their coaches, but then they also tend to care about their teammates as well. And it just kind of provides that good family atmosphere. And like I was saying earlier, I think that that's a big reason why SMU's had so much success. I've been a part of programs where we've had a lot of talent, but we just couldn't get it to click together. And so I think that coaches like that, which are the coaches that we have on this staff, do a great job as far as just providing that relationship with the players. And I think that that's a big part of why I wanted to get into coaching, is because you want to have that relationship and you want to build that relationship. And it's not something that just goes on for 4 or 5 years. And that's something that I tell the recruits in the recruiting process. I got guys that, that I coached at Angelo State, that still invite me to their weddings or have me on their job applications and stuff and call me for references, and to me that's really what coaching's all about. And, I think that the guys that are like that are the guys that I look up to.